going to start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Shalom to all that came out there pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. You know, it's the brothers from Atlanta. You know, we got a lesson. It's going to be entitled Kingdoms Don't Fall Nor Rise Overnight. All right, and it's going to be mainly magnifying and pertaining to America. You know, you have brothers that's been prophesying against America, starting off with the apostles and elders for decades. You know, and you got a lot of brothers that kind of get weary in spirit, but you got to really be a man of understanding. The scriptures tells you in Corinthians, and understanding be ye men. One of the main things that you got to understand with a prophet is a prophet prophesies, and until the Most High sends that judgment.
That's right.
All right, and it's not on the prophet's time. All right, it's under the time of the Lord. Even in certain scriptures where the Lord said that the day nor time, even the Son of Man doesn't know, all right, but the Father that's in heaven. All right, and when you go into the accounts of the scriptures, the prophets prophesied a long time, man. Think about Noah. All right, Noah prophesied for the space of 120 years, and he was prophesying against the whole known world, so to speak, of the judgments of things to come. And people didn't hear from that for that space of 100+ years, and the judgment rained down on the old world. So how much more in these times now? All right, America, all right, or Egypt. Egypt was prophesied against. It was a couple of things that had to take place before the Most High started to hit it with plagues. He told Moses prior to the plagues being dropped on Egypt that he was gonna drop plagues on there. He didn't do it at that specific time. Moses had to speak to the Egyptians. He had to show them miracles and the signs, and he told Pharaoh to let my people go.
Yeah, it's like it, but Most High also said that Pharaoh was gonna harden his heart.
Yep.
And that's the same thing with Esau now.
That's right.
You know.
Yep. It's the same thing with Esau now. And in Egypt, we was in Egypt for 400 years. All right, and going back to the story of Egypt with Moses kept deliberating with the Most High, all right, with him and Aaron, all right, and they went back to went back to Pharaoh and told him the things that the Most High is basically speaking. The Most High said, let the people go and things of that nature. And Pharaoh didn't want to hear that. He had to go back and forth. And all the while, the slaves were catching hell in slavery in the plantation, so to speak. All right, they spoke about how they're going to make it harder upon the slaves, you know, and, you know, after a while, that's when the prophecies were coming to pass. After the chain of events that took place, after the Most High gave the warnings, all right, and just go, 285 West, yeah. But after the different circumstances or sequence of events took place, that's when the judgments came. All right, so the same thing has to happen in America. America is a great kingdom. It didn't rise overnight.
That's right.
All right, starting off with the 1400s, 1492, Columbus, which he didn't even land in America. All right, he never even seen America, but starting off with the whole known world of the Americas. All right, you know, Christopher Columbus from the 1400s, then later on the 1500s, and the takedowns, the Spanish, French, and the British taking down the whole world as you know it. In the 1776, America got established, so that took hundreds of years, so to speak, for them to get their foothold and establish this enterprise, Babylon the Great. And then, you know, fast forward into the day, you know, you have the prophets prophesying against this place. All right, but like I said, the kingdoms don't fall overnight. This thing is it's bigger than us. All right, it's bigger than our time. This is the agenda of the Most High. The Most High wrote these words. Now, of course, we hasten the day, as the scriptures say, but at the end of the day, like I said, we got to be men of understanding and understanding what we're prophesying against. America is a big country, all right, a major enterprise. So we have to constantly push this word and blow this trumpet to break this place down.
That's right.
All right, Jeremiah 28:8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries. All right, and what are those many countries? Babylon. Babylon got prophesied against. You read in Jeremiah, Isaiah, which we're reading right now. All right, and certain prophets would echo the same sentiment as others. All right, so it's Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, Greece, Rome, and America that you have today is written all throughout the scriptures. All right, Daniel wrote about these things that were to come. John on the island of Patmos. Yahweh Shah spoke of these different things. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Nahum, Habakkuk. All these different men of the Lord wrote these writings for the times that we're living in now, the times of the end.
That's right.
So it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. Egypt was a great kingdom. Pharaoh was the king, and he ruled over Egypt, and Egypt expanded, man. Egypt wasn't just Egypt on the whole, so to speak. The Egyptian empire expanded. Sometimes it expand over there, depending on where the land is. The expansion, it expands north, west, south, and east. You know, so thinking about Egypt, it expanded over there to the land of Israel. All right, not fully in the land of Israel because the Canaanites were living there, but they had their arms stretched out, so to speak. South Egypt, right, west and north. And that whole place had to get prophesied against through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, same thing with America. America is a great kingdom. You have North America, Central America, South America, all right, which we're prophesying against North America, Babylon the Great. But this place has an extension, so to speak.
That's right.
All these different kingdoms is connected. That's why this is a major conglomerate. A conglomerate is a multi-faceted unit, or like an octopus system, where you have the European, the EU, NATO, all right, which is a joint force, America, and all these different kingdoms intertwined in one. The American allies. This is the last beast, man. All right. So it says against great kingdoms, all right, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what the man of the Lord's job. The man of the Lord is supposed to prophesy of doom and gloom, so to speak. Prophesy of dark times.
That's right.
All right. It said war, pestilence, evil. Evil means bad times. Eve goes back to the word time, if I'm not mistaken. And ill is bad times. All right, because you have like what? The evening. Evening is a form of time. So it says of evil and of pestilence, the prophet which prophesies the peace, when the word of the Lord shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him. All right. And I'm going to get this other scripture in Isaiah, the 61st chapter. Bear with me. Because that's the job of a prophet, to prophesy, man. You ain't supposed to sleep on your watch. You're not supposed to get tired of prophesying.
Yeah,
you ain't supposed to, cut off the job, so to speak, quit. All right, or do layoffs or get laid off, so to speak. You're supposed to be constantly on it, man. Prophesying, again, like the scriptures say, even prophesying to the wind, if necessary.
That's right.
All right. So this is Isaiah, 62:1. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. Yeah, and this is Isaiah speaking. Isaiah said for Zion's sake, he's not going to hold his peace. Meaning he's going to constantly push this word. He's going to constantly prophesy until the kingdom of Zion is established. And it's the same thing now.
That's right.
Even though we see wickedness on a high scale, as it tells you in Isaiah the 60th chapter, gross darkness consuming the people, we have the light. And we have to project that light in this valley of the shadow of darkness. As David said in Psalm 23, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Why? Because we have the light. We have the direction.
That's right.
All right.
If I could say too, the Most High certain prophecies are coming to pass as we speak. You're just not gonna be at the climax all the time. It's got to have a build up.
Yep, everything deals with a build up.
Yeah, everything deals with a build up. You just have to be patient.
Yep, and you got to think about this is the Most High's movie, man. He's not gonna skip scenes. He's gonna have the perfect movie. Just like when you watch movies, you have the openings. All right, and the openings may be slow depending on how big the movie is. You'll have certain 3-4 hour films.
Yeah.
And them joints take a while to build up.
Yeah.
And then it hits the climax, that climactic point, which is the heightened point of the movie. And then, it goes down into the ending, the resolutions and all these different things. And it's the same thing with the spirit.
Yeah, and a lot of times with those movies like that, it's a part 1, a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you just
trilogies.
Yeah, it's trilogy.
Like Godfather.
Yeah, Godfather.
Mm-hmm. The Matrix trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing in this truth, man. All right, this is Babylon or Rome, that deadly wound that was healed. See, some of the prophets, the men of the Lord, thought that Rome was going to be destroyed in the time of Yahushua, but they didn't know the prophecy of the deadly wound being healed. All right, and in Revelations, how this Rome or this fourth kingdom was going to be restored, and the prophets would have to die, and they would have to come back all together in these times and prophesy against this country. All right, so this is a big thing, man. All the prophets and the men of the Lord are back to prophesy against this great whore. All right, that sitteth upon many waters, as it tells you in Revelations, the 17th chapter. What's the many waters? The peoples, the nations, and tongues. Revelation 17 and 15. All right, it says, and the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. And that's a prophecy. That prophecy hasn't come to pass. So a prophet or a man of the Lord is supposed to prophesy upon these things until they come to pass, until these prophecies are fulfilled. Because the prophecies are coming to pass. All of them, majority of them came to pass. All right, during the time of Daniel. Daniel spoke about the 4 kingdoms that had of gold. He told Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, that his kingdom would be broken down, and it broke down. Same thing with other kingdoms. All the prophecies' words came to pass, and that's why you can't get slow up or get distracted, because these prophecies is going to come to pass, man.
That's right.
It's all about the time when the Most High wants these things to happen. The mark of the beast, we see it pending. We see the upcoming and pending doom. All right? And then we're going to see it escalate on a major scale.
Yeah.
So we have to just stay on our post and keep pushing this word, constantly pushing harder and harder until we get to the end. All right? And it says, thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy power. And that's the main thing that what we had for you, Akim. Hopefully you brothers were edified. We're gonna end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.